Although Steve White Trek Boy 89 for Steve Arts 89, I know I shouldn't be talking about this again, but the Star Trek guy and other people just keep adding little updates to this. But we all know that Skydance finally put the merger through with Paramount, and they're sort of taking things seriously, and they're trying to make an impact. This is the new Paramount. They bought the UFC. They bought something else. They've made some big acquisitions and secured some big sort of streaming legends like South Park and stuff like that. And they just hired the guys who did Stranger Things, like over from Netflix. And one of the things they've talked about is they're going to focus more on streaming shows and theatrical movies, but not streaming movies. And that they're going to be focusing on franchises and building things up again and having these big sort of moments and big films. Like they're going to do a Top Gun 3 because Top Gun 2 was so big, but it was only big because the maggots were trying to prove that if you make a film for them, you can make a lot of money. So that's why Mission Impossible crashed, and everyone thought that was going to be so big because Tom Cruise was so big now. I'm like, it wasn't about him or the film. It was this weird moment with these people in this group. And what was the other one they were talking about? Transformers. This is a misstep where it's like, well, we want to bring Transformers back, so let's get Michael Bay back. He never left. He ruined the franchise and then kept it down, stopped it from being rebooted, so he could come back and do his version again when we're all tired of it and we don't want more of that. So that's a huge misstep, but they think they're doing a great thing there. Star Trek, they've talked about Star Trek, how they want to focus on that, TV and film. And the talk was that, well, the issue was, are they going to get rid of Kurtzman? And the sort of theories were, well, they would either keep them because it's easy and maybe alter the contract, or just get rid of them, bring it in-house and produce it themselves, because, Skydance makes films and TV, and have new people come in and sort of, instead of having one person in control of Star Trek and limiting it and ruining it in some ways, in some people's opinion, you'd bring different people in and have different takes on Star Trek and different people, different, showrunners and stuff like that, and a bit more flexibility and freedom there. But what they're saying now is that they came in for the initial sort of talks, and that supposedly Paramount has drawn up a very basic, take it or leave it, make Star Trek for us the way we want. We dictate to you what Star Trek is, and we work with other people. We can bring other people in. You get like a first view thing, like first option, like you can do it. If you don't want to do it, someone else will do it, and you can't make your own Star Trek shows. But if we'll ask you to make Star Trek, if you don't want to, we'll get someone else. And it seems like a real take it or leave it. We're the boss. It's our franchise. It's our IP. You're just working for us, sort of thing, which sounds great because production-wise, I was going to say the show looks great and they do have a good production, but they skim so much money where basically most of the money goes to producers. They've got like 23 producers on every episode, and they pay themselves. They profit out of the money. Like, say Paramount gives them $10 million to make an episode, that doesn't go to the budget. You don't see that on screen. That's why they're reusing the same science lab set for the whole season. We haven't seen engineering because they can't afford to have two sets. They build a new set and they have to use it all season basically, and that's just really povo, and not the sort of thing you get out of a $10 million an episode series. But we are, because that's the problem with having a production team, having a middleman. They aren't there unless they can make money. So just make it yourself, where you basically just pay for the show to be produced, and there's no middleman taking a cut and taking a profit. Why they're even entertaining keeping them, I don't know. But the talk is they're trying to make them just like, a production house for Star Trek, and they don't really profit from it anymore, and they don't really have any creative input anymore. It's just they're just making it for them because it's easier while they're already there in motion than setting up their own Star Trek studio. And if they take it, then they'll probably stay on and they'll probably get some small financial benefit from it. But they're not going to get the same. It's not the same gig it was before. So will they stay? I don't think they will. I think if they've got any backbone or any I was going to say class. I can't find the word. If they had any self-respect, they'd be like, no, we had a good deal. If you don't want to, if you're taking that deal away, we're going to go somewhere else, and someone else will give us a good deal to produce their show where we can make a bunch of money off it and give them, nothing. I think they've been used to that. They're spoiled by that. And I don't think these people can quite process what's happening and accept it and be smart enough to take it. But then again, they may also con someone into paying them to make a Battlestar Galactica or a Lost in Space, or I think Akiva Goldsman's doing some of the Irwin Allen shows, remaking them. So that'll just be the same sort of thing. They basically use the IP, take all the money, pocket it, and give the audience a really cheap, bad, sort of lame sort of show. So I don't know, but that's the talk basically, that Paramount has it set up where they're just going to give them a take it or leave it offer, and if not, they're just going to move on without them, because they're about saving money and doing things effectively, and they're not at the moment, but they've sort of drafted a new way to do it, and if it's accepted, they'll stay. If not, they'll be replaced. So we'll see.